In our last session, it was a solemn affair as the group registered that Burks had still not returned with Chandra, wherever they might be. While there was considerations of what to do next, Verity brought Nerith with Rosa and Sony to visit the two Doom Guards, Nark and Merkel, to see how they were doing in their vigil. Nark was having questions about purpose and of destruction and creation, and Nerith foretold with his uncanny divination abilities that the Factal might have plunged into the volcano. And as there was the question of what to do next, of what is the purpose of meaning here, Sile urged Verity to return when he could and leave the Doom Guards be, let them continue with their own motivations. Alara attempted ascending to Burks, and then they proceeded to return, have a good night, and then wake up in the morning to the liaison office, hoping to catch a word with Veruska about seeing how the archives was doing. Strangely enough, there was another voice here, as if Veruska was having a conversation, and the room is perfectly neat and tidy. After getting a sense that someone else was in the room, the group went to panic mode, and eventually found the source itself to be apparently Enowan, the rune sage himself, incensed with Veruska that something happened with the volcano that was not reported about, whereas his time seemed to have been wasted with talks of rats and reports of less relevant information. It was here that the group full-on informed Enowan, either by mistake or just sheer blatant honesty about the purpose of their visit, and watched several oscillations of the vampire's mood. Moment himself probably has questions about how far Enowan might still be or have gone from his origins in Malakir. Alara is keen to find new purpose with a possible service to Enowan as a records and functionaries person, since Enowan seems to be looking for new capable hands, and the group themselves are eager to get embroiled in a new task after being privy to several bits of important information. Enowan reveals that his concern or primary concern within the plane of Zendikar is that of its bindings and intactness, which seem to tie back to certain nodes of power, nodes tied into mana and the colorations thereof. Supposedly, there's one node for each of the 5 colors within Zendikar, something akin to the schools of magic in other planes of understanding, but here more raw and unfiltered. Each node produces a strong source of its own energy, and by drawing bindings between them, it might functionably hold the plane intact and together, despite what seems to be plenty of external influences as of the late to disrupt this pattern. The group gets further insight into the possible intentions of the 5 escaped prisoners from Sigil coming here and their strange form of coordination. Enowan is interested in tasking the group with going to Tazim, a place where he's not particularly welcome, nor that of his kind, and trying to discern if the temple dedicated to the water god Ula is indeed one of the locus points or nodes, as he seems to have discerned. If not, this matter is also significant, as he needs to now investigate the new fire node, wherever it might be. With plenty to think about now and much to consider, the group continues with their fact-finding mission before setting off to Tazim. Once there, it will be difficult to make ends meet if they are not properly armed. And this is where the session begins for today. Burks may be rejoining us later, depending on how things go on his own end. So,
Yay.
we start with the Alpha Town group.
All right. Gives me time to eat.
Yes, that would be for the best.
Okay. So where are we technically?
You are in the Alpha Town.
So is Rosa unstoned?
Well, Lina's not here, so just pretend she's still in like autopilot mode.
Wow. Okay.
Is this after Verity brings back the Doomguard or before?
We'll say after.
Okay.
After. Okay, that means we have time to go to the
Nasruddin, the port.
that
master.
guy. That guy. Okay, so okay, let's go there.
Have you guys read the text, or I just give you a rundown? Basically,
Did not
Doomguard.
get
It's only
the
been
rest-
2 weeks, guys. Have you forgotten already?
pretty much.
I mean it's just the RP text that Verity get the Doomguards back.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
No.
you can.
I mean, long story short, is Verity brought the 2 Doom Guards back. There was
Yeah.
nothing much to say about it. But I'm talking about the other things.
No, I'm just because Nat wanted to talk to Enowan, so I'm not sure if Enowan is still there to let him talk.
That one Narc will handle on his own.
All right.
Okay.
He probably has words for Enowan that he's not comfortable having Verity here. They
I
might
know,
be
but
bad words.
Enowan is still there, right?
You don't know.
Okay, well, just assume they're here, they do their thing, and Verity joins back to the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to Nasruddin.
The port master.
Right. You head over to the port master of Alpha Town, and sure enough, as soon as you near the building, the sturdy building, you hear the infernal barking noise again.
The doggo.
Yes.
I guess we stay at distance and see if Nasruddin reacts.
Well, the door is closed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go forwards and call out, see if he's inside.
Moment is going to go in front and knock.
There's the dog.
Yeah,
the dog doesn't mind you, right?
Yeah, the dog doesn't mind me.
Alright.
Oh. I'm keeping a safe distance from the doggo.
Alright, the dog continues making loud noises even at moment as he gets near.
Bark, bark.
If even at me, or is it like it's not at me but at them?
Do you wish to test your luck?
Well,
Because I was here like quite a few times. I think a week ago or something. Based on our journey, it should be a week ago. I think I'll test my luck. I'm gonna go and knock the door.
Okay, it continues making loud noises at moment, but doesn't do anything otherwise when moment goes to knock.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a voice within. What is it this time? I'm not interested in what you're selling.
I'm sorry, I'm not selling stuff. It's me, Moment.
Yes?
We have some question to ask you, if it's okay to step inside.
Everyone has questions these days, it seems. Come on in then. The door's not locked.
Okay, I open the door and invite them in.
right, go in.
The office remains as you remember it, with the stony interior. This time it's better kept. Most of the papers and paperwork is kept behind cupboards or inside the watertight chests. And even so, there's a certain dampness around the office that seems to come from like the various sluices and little runways at the bottom, anticipating any flooding of water. The port master does look up at you, and it does seem that he does seem a bit more tired than before, but nonetheless. Well, what is it?
Pardon us. Mr. Nasruddin. It's been a few days, but if you have time, we actually would like to speak to you about something.
Well, time's a wasting. Let's get on with it.
I go and there's chairs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I point to a chair and then I go, may I?
Time's a wasting. Get on with things.
I was wondering if you came from out of character. What is that place called? I forgot.
Ula, the temple?
No,
Or
no, no,
you're
the
asking
place.
the place.
I'm loading the map.
Tazim.
Tazim. I was wondering if you came from Tazim.
Well, yes.
Well, good, because you seem to be the only one we actually trust to ask questions. Everybody else seems a bit dodgy. We're thinking of going there to see the Temple of Ula. Are there any...
That seems highly suspicious to me out of nowhere.
Well, apparently it's very beautiful, and it's been a while since I've seen...
No,
Any
no one
notions?
randomly decides to go from Alpha Town to Tazim to see a beautiful temple.
Well, to be fair, we have been to ridiculous places
We
looking
have
for
our
people.
mission that, brings
Is-
us to places.
Is there anything in particular? So people
I'm
don't?
not divulging any information until I know why you're so interested in this temple.
Well,
Oh,
we
ah.
just want to figure out what is there. We're also looking at other places. So we were just...
Yes,
At
we are
some
here on a
cavern.
mission to find the binding runes, and perhaps you might gather some knowledge, not just at the temple, but perhaps the library. I heard it is very magnificent over there, with a lot of information.
Who did you hear this from?
What's that lady's name?
Oh, you mean the Varuska?
Yeah, Veruska. That's
Give
the
me a
Veruska.
deception check.
Deception. Check. Hang on. Heh. 13.
Well, then she knows a lot more than she seems to let on then.
Well, she did point us to that, what was it, that mirror lake?
Glass pool.
Yeah, glass pool, and the other bit. There's some cave somewhere.
Well, yes, but those are on this continent of Akalm itself, not all the way in Tazim.
If I'm not mistaken. I look at the rest and I'm like, where was that many-headed guy?
Many-headed guy?
It's the
The
one that wanted us to stay there.
Not forgotten because we do not know exactly where it is because we are inside of something. Remember? So we have no idea where he was or it was.
I think roughly we knew, right?
You do not know at all.
No, it's like dark and then we are inside of something, so that's why we do not know.
You're
Oh,
you're inside a Hedron, but there's like tons of Hedrons around Zendikar.
So we
Oh,
have
you
no
mean
idea
like-
which one it
Oh,
is.
you mean Carabineros?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the many face.
that
That's what
many
she's
face dude.
saying. Yeah.
Why do you ask about the Carabineros?
no, I'm saying that out of character.
Ah.
I'm saying that we've also been to like some random ass place. We've been just
But I
booted
don't
around
think that's
everywhere.
a place where you can like say because you don't even know where it is.
But
Yeah,
we
which
know
is
it's a
why-
Hedron.
Huh?
We know it's
We
a
know-
Hedron.
Yeah,
But don't know which Hedron. Like there are.
yeah.
I know,
So
but
to her, it doesn't. She doesn't care because she's been going around everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
But out of character, this temple is not known doesn't guide usually know about this kind of big landmarks?
Yeah.
No, but it's on a completely different
Yeah,
continent.
Yeah, but you still
when
know
last time,
about.
when last
No,
when
no.
last time
A
you talked,
continent is a whole different thing. You're thinking in terms of
Okay.
Earth.
yeah, remember the last time when Alara was asking about Moment about other stuff. The
Mhm.
whole reason that I'm very skeptical about the whole other stuff, it is because it is a whole different continent. Like it crossed like
You're asking if Christopher Columbus knows about Australia.
we
I
are in a
suppose.
piece.
If
We
people
are
do
in a
not travel
piece,
far
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
to-
we are in a piece of island that where by foot is possible, but to get to that particular continent, it's
Does that
almost
mean
impossible.
like ship traveling and all is not common?
It's
Have you
It's
seen the weather lately?
yeah, it's really hard.
It's really hard. Not even with ship mage and all
It
that.
might even shipwreck
Like,
before
with,
we
with,
share.
with severe protections, yes, but as in, you don't go and see a beautiful temple in Zendikar. If you have to go to a place, you go with like full expedition, lull mages, like the whole work.
Yeah.
We go with a purpose.
That's why like Nazruddin is so suspicious of Alara at the moment.
Oh. See, I didn't know that.
But I
as a
mean,
player.
I'm not sure if all your traveling has drummed home that traveling is dangerous in this plane of existence.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
to
are
her,
already
it's-
sort
it's
of numb
all-
to it now.
dangerous, and to her, if Nazruddin managed to get there, there has to be a way. And if there's so many planar people who just keep popping in and out, she's like, yeah,
Because they can plane shift.
exactly. So she's
Plane
like,
shift
"Nah."
and going to the same
You-
plane but
okay,
different
let
continent.
me put it this way. She came from Ark on a
Yeah.
boat, and then she's been pointing in and out everywhere. She's like, what the fuck? To her,
not
it's the same.
You have a cheat code to teleport in
I know.
here. There's
So, be in her mind.
Mhm.
To her, it's the same.
Yeah, to us it's the same. It's gonna be dangerous either
Yeah.
way.
Does Moment want to add anything to Alara's conversation?
So
Because you can see
technically,
Nasruddin is skeptical.
yeah. So
Uh,
imagine
I-
she's standing there.
Mhm.
I mean, she's sitting down, and she has that face of like, seems like another day. So she's saying stuff that
Yeah.
is
Bertie was
legitimate.
saying, even if it's dangerous, we'll still go to visit. There is a mission here.
to be fair, this group of people did actually go to highly dangerous places, even the Valukan Mountain. The
Well, yes, because
active-
they had a local guide with them, didn't they?
Yeah, but the problem is that
There's a
when we get
difference?
there is activity of fire elemental going on that is extremely hostile, and they like to poke everything.
Yes, this is
That-
how you do find fire. But if you go to Tazim, you'll find water instead.
Well, very oddly, this is a water elemental, as you can see. Not elemental, but
The
how do you
Genasi.
pronounce Genasi? And then I point to Alara. She even poked the glass pool. Even when we say don't poke the glass pool, we almost die.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be any kind of a compliment.
It's
Now,
not
if
a
you look
compliment.
over Alara, it doesn't seem like he sees anything different about her.
It's not
Yeah.
a compliment. It's that they, for some odd reason, they like to go poke at a lot of stuff. I'm just here to guide them.
Righty is keeping quiet.
But just a reminder, Nasruddin is a merfolk.
Mhm.
You know what those look like, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
I have my.
So to him, like a blue-skinned human or whatever is like,
Below.
Meh. That's why
No.
she's like, yeah, whatevs.
He doesn't know about like
No,
the
he
Nazi type of
doesn't.
thingy?
He doesn't care.
because
think
no,
Alara-
he might not even know because this is Zendikar. No one would think of like elementals becoming humans or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
fair,
think
But I
Alara
thought
should
he-
use
but I thought he saw since he's in the same town, the blacksmith is a fire elemental-ish Genasi.
He's
If I'm
actually
not-
more of an outsider.
Wait,
Oh.
which one? The fire elemental or the
Yeah.
or the
The blacksmith is a bit more of a outsider the way he is.
okay.
I think Alara should use her
like water genasi genes or like her religion to appeal to the Nasruddin.
Nah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Nasruddin says, "Well, Moment, do you know why they are going? Actually, are you
I
even
just
following?"
That's
Wait,
that's
what?
a good question. It seems that from what I gather, that it's a completely different place, and we're going to need absolutely new guides.
In proper sense, yes. That's the sad part. But unless you need to go there for a different reason, I do not know. But what I keep hearing from you guys is beautiful places and you guys want to visit, despite I say it's very dangerous.
Well, if I remember correctly, Verity has also mentioned that we're going to seek some binding runes.
Ah, yes.
Translation moment.
They are on a mission to find something that is related to, let's say, how this world work and understand it, which is a very big quest.
And
here
what
to-
do they plan to do at the temple itself?
Apparently, there is a study of the creation of part
No,
of this.
out of character, you're not supposed to tell anyone about ley lines.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say about ley line.
Well, the creation of the world in general, because it will lead to that.
Hmm.
Well, Nasruddin just raises a brown face. Everyone has their own creation mythos. The core have their own, the merfolk have theirs, even the
Yeah.
vampires have their own theories.
Well, it would be nice to see if the mythos of your place of birth is the same as mine, or that of my father, who is heavily estranged.
Out of character, I was not going to say about the ley line thingy, but like kind of hint about the creation of a part of the world thingy, just to explain to him, because I know you guys are not going to openly say about that. So I'm
Nasruddin just shrugs and goes, "Moment, how do you even put up with this?"
they pay good money. What can I say?
Firstly, what do you understand about Tazim?
Absolutely nothing, which is what
That
we
is
want to
why
learn
they
from
want
you.
to come and meet you.
Any customs, do's and don'ts, especially since we have somebody
Well, the
who-
only
who
thing I
is
know about
partly
Tazim is
fire.
that the only thing I know about Tazim is that back in where I came from, our people is a very no to there. That's the only thing that I know.
Well, yes, in a matter of speaking, it is not so much of a racial thing, I assure you.
Is it because our feasting habit?
No, it is because there are certain contradictions with certain point of views between the representatives in Akaum and those of Tazim.
What might the like the contradiction might be? Is it like just
Are you
minor?
familiar with the expedition houses?
Okay, out of character. Expedition houses? Question mark.
Okay, so you might have access to the Zendikar PDF, right?
Yes, I have the PDF.
Okay, so I'm not sure where exactly it's stated in it, but okay, something to know is Tazim is known for its expedition houses, which are like think big adventuring guilds, but specifically for exploration and finding information. So expedition houses are like properly funded and organized groups that set out to explore ruins specifically and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like only such like organized groups have a chance of like going far and surviving. So
Okay.
Tazim is the headquarters of most of the expedition houses, and they have sent many groups before to other lands such as Ondu, Balaget, Murasa, Guldra, Sejiri, Akaum even.
Uh-huh.
So as you can imagine, they are highly influential, and most of their library and whatever you might find in Seagate contains knowledge gathered from ruins close and far.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm already here, so if I may be
Okay.
so bold as to say, it seems to me though that the lore masters of Seagate and their library, while widely learned and collected, seem to favor a particular kind of narrative or interest of information.
And what might that particular native be?
I'm not going to go into suppositions here, but let's just say that I used to be part of an expedition group. I was a lore master myself. And when I submitted certain information that did not seem quite as congruous with what they had discovered and compiled so far, I found that information simply went missing.
Your information is not proper, or the information you submit suddenly went missing?
Bureaucracy, red tape, or by whatever means, it did not go into the archives.
So technically, you have been silenced in terms of lore master.
I did question slightly, but my inquiry seemed to go nowhere.
Huh. But I'm going to assume that you are not going to tell me what expedition you were submitting, right?
It was quite a long time ago, honestly. I'm not sure if it's still relevant.
Would you say that any part of the information that you gave them was particularly blasphemous?
It was not particularly favorable of the major religions, yes. But that's all I'm going to say about it.
Understandable. I take out, like, okay, out of character, do we have like more questions? Yes, I do. But anybody else?
No, but I only have I have question to ask regarding the GM, but you go ahead first.
Okay. She looks at him and she goes, well, I'm more interested in not stepping on anybody's toes. Maybe go swimming, but mostly not stepping on anybody's toes in regards to culture, do's and don'ts.
Well, firstly, I suggest you understand Zendikar.
Well, so far,
Your talk of going to see a beautiful temple has rubbed plenty of people the wrong way before in the past, and I suspect you don't quite know what you mean when you say things.
well, I've only been here for about 11 days, and mostly
Yes,
been...
does it seem like tourism is a thing here?
No, but if it comes to actually finding information about where I come from, it's of dire importance. And like you mentioned, there's a pretty temple, there's a library, and if I can get into that library...
Okay,
even
what do you
better.
think it means if someone tells you your temple is pretty in Zendikar?
Inviting for a raid.
Archaeologists.
Raid.
That's what you mean. As in, we're going there to deface and steal from the temple. That seems a bit ridiculous, but I understand.
Well, you all are armed and equipped and looking for trouble and outsiders to boot.
Mostly interested in the library, but I can see where you're getting at.
May I suggest then, if you are to go to Tazim at all, the first thing you want to do is put on a less confrontational, less outsidery, more scholarly appearance, perhaps.
I think of Rosa. No, Sorrentina? Well, we'll try. Definitely.
Are there any taboos that we should be aware of?
Well, the merfolk follow 3 religions mainly, but we don't really speak about the third one.
And
So,
why is that?
there's Emeria of the Wind Creed, and such merfolk seek wisdom and truth in the wind realms, exploring the mystical forces, whether the natural ones behind events. They are known to be evasive and enigmatic, and you should respect this regarding them if they do not give you a straight answer. They are not obliged to. In fact, I would say that no one in Zendikar is obliged to give you a straight and honest answer, as you all seem quite determined to have sometimes. Ula of the Water Creed emphasizes intellectual pursuits, stressing hard evidence and reason over passion. As such, they're typically trusted with the navigation and chronicling. They are a bit more blunt and straightforward, and no merfolk will ever openly admit to following the third creed, which is that of the trickster Kosi. But there is a certain wisdom in understanding the chaos of this plane.
Okay, that trickster Kosin?
Kosik.
Kosin? Kosik?
Yeah.
Kosik.
T-O-S-I.
E-
Ula is U-L-A, and Emeria, let me put it back.
Emeria,
Cozy
I think.
Ola.
Ula.
Ula, we already know that.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then there's Tos.
Maria. Cozy.
Kosi.
See?
Yeah.
See? Okay, cozy.
So Nasruddin stresses that do not go in demanding answers.
Noted. Thanks. The Ula, the people who follow Ula seems like some people I would get along with.
Yes, but keep in mind you are still outsiders.
That is true. She sits, she's like actually visibly perplexed by this, like, perhaps out loud, thinking out loud, wouldn't be such a good idea. Perhaps another library would be better.
What exactly are you thinking of finding in the library?
Information about any binding runes or runes in general. I haven't been briefed much, I've just been told to find out more about runes.
Baruska knows about binding runes, really.
Yeah, she pointed us to the volcano and the lake thing. Goddamn Leviathan. I
If
roll my
Baruska
eyes.
suggested that you poke the lake, I'm going to have stern words with her.
Unfortunately,
Don't
for
worry.
me, no,
Don't
that
worry.
that
She
was
didn't,
entirely me. It's been a long time since I've been in the water, and I need to be in the water.
Don't worry, she didn't suggest to poke the water. No one suggests to poke
Well,
the
you're
water.
right by the coast side. If you need to indulge yourself, much safer than the last pool or whatever it is. So, what else do you want to know?
Out of character? Anything?
Mostly it's just for my part about me knowing what is my old vampires thingy and see if that's what they don't want about or it's just me like the race in general. I'm not sure. because he did say like it's more of Tazim's and my race, which is from Gudras. Is it called Gudras? Yeah,
Gudra.
Gudras. Yeah, Gudras. That is more of a what you call that? Not religion thing. Beliefs. His beliefs, right?
Nasruddin said, it's more of records. Gudras is older than Tazim as much as they'll never admit it.
Oh. Oh, okay.
And there's information from Gudras that will contradict with the findings in Seagate. Although vampires typically aren't much of historians.
I actually know that there are some is, but yeah, mostly they don't.
They're not very public about their information either.
Mm,
When you introduced yourself as a guide, frankly, Moment, I was quite confused.
knowing that where I come from,
It is not a common pursuit of your people.
yeah. Let's just say that I technically do not like what they did to their society right now.
Well, as far as you know and I know, there's only one other vampire at the moment that's known for expeditions and such.
We tried to get there. It's a very long journey. Kind of gave up halfway.
Indeed.
I have a question. How welcoming are the people in Seagate to pilgrims?
Two
Um,
pilgrims.
pilgrims to the temple, or people who are willing to visit the temple.
Well, from what I recall, they are quite happy to receive scholars and pilgrims, provided, of course, you actually agree with their views.
I see. So we have to procure something from this continent then to have a different look.
Right? He like looks around.
Nasruddin says, I have some pilgrims' robes I can lend you to so that you might gather your own material and make such if you wish, but I will want them back.
All right.
It would definitely be helpful, and if you need us for anything,
Are there
a favor
heavily
for a favor.
armored people over there?
Sorry, what was that?
Are there heavily armored people over there?
Hi, what?
Highly armored.
Basically, people with plate
nothing
mail.
Guards,
you.
or something.
Merfolk practically don't need armor. They wear little clothing unless they're armored for battle, and even then, like, they use a minimum of cloth and they use like seashells for armor with some leather.
I
So
see.
like plate is unheard of.
I say Tazim. Okay, so Seagate is in Tazim.
Seagate is Seagate is in Tazim.
But Tazim has expedition, meaning there will be adventurers.
Yes.
So there will be people who are armed and
Yeah. But so far, I'll say looking around Alpha Town, there's nobody else in plate mail. Because here people pride the ability to run and jump and climb and swim more than the plate.
so
fair.
already have a think.
So
Perhaps going in full regalia would be considered a threat.
I suppose.
You might be a curiosity, but again, as I said before, a lot more things become permissible if you actually agree with their views and do not contradict things.
Oh, talk about their views. Is there any place here that have information or their views or lore book that we can study to understand more of their views so that we don't go on and bash our heads in?
Nasruddin sighs, looks around his desk, rummages around, leans over, and aha! Then the table goes slightly lopsided as he removes something from under the table leg and passes it to you.
Okay. What book is this?
rebuke. Do I have anything that can prop it up?
Tazim.
Light in Tazim. Okay. Okay, I'll spend my time reading this. Thank you very much. I will
I was
return
going
this
to
to.
publish it at some point, but I don't really see the point of it anymore.
Sorry, what?
I was going to publish it at some point, but I don't see the point anymore.
Surely any publication would be a boon to any adventurer, especially here.
We'll be sure to return it back to you.
Yes, please
Yeah.
do.
Again, I extend my services if you need anything, if we come back.
What can you do?
What would you like us to do?
I could help with any physical lifting and all that.
Actually, on second thoughts, probably asking you all for help would be a bad idea.
You notice, darling.
Well, considering we don't know much.
Well, our expertise is up for you to use if you want to.
Well, if I come back in one piece, maybe I will think of something.
Sure. Do you have any family that you...
No, I am not involving outsiders with that.
No? Duly noted. Well, in any case...
Well, at the top of your head, could you tell me the general view of the merfolks? You said they were to agree with their view. What kind of view?
Well, surprisingly, as it turns out, people who have acquired an entire library of knowledge from ruins and expedition houses and such might think they know it all. They might even be quite resistant to facts that contradict things.
So new things are almost not.
Well, nothing is new in Zendikar, so to speak.
Well, new findings, technically.
New findings are simply old records interpreted differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I can tell you is mainly lies with the creeds and such. The merfolk are interested in finding out about not so much of how Zendikar was created. I think they're not very interested in the creation myth. I think they're more interested in what it means between each race and such. I think they seem to have categorized vampires as being somewhat less desirable of the lot.
If you see the society of what have become, it's always less desirable.
Well, who do they put in high regards then?
Well, themselves, of course. And I understand that they are on reasonable terms with the elves as well, Urasa and such. Urasa Ondu. But I largely think it's because the elves also keep to themselves.
I see.
They also have a decent relation with the Sphinxes, so they'll good luck getting one to speak to you.
There's still sphinxes in this.
Yeah. Okay, so according to the campaign guide, Sphinxes are like, if the bestiary part, like Sphinxes are fairly common in certain places. So like, okay, so Zendikar bestiary, they are angels occasionally, but like they are like rare sightings. There are archons, which are similar to angels in like what they represent. There are griffins, which are like
Griffin is common if I'm not wrong, but it's like hard to find one that houses them.
Then there's like sphinxes are inscrutable, mysterious creatures known for their wisdom and knowledge. They seem quite content to sit in places and sometimes searching out, and then they sit in quiet contemplation. Everything is like an intellectual exercise to them. And they're mainly known in areas such as Sergiri, Juar Isle, and such.
Surgery, I can see.
Juar Isle is part of Surgery. It's like one of Juar Isle is to the left of Balaget in your
Yeah, it is a secret island, isn't it?
the Isle of Secrets.
Oh, Isle of Secrets. Okay.
But like
So
basically, if you want to find a sphinx, you probably have to first start heading the most like difficult, troublesome direction.
and
where
it's
no one
most
lives.
and it's mostly island or isolated islands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
imagining.
but based on what I understand of Moment's travel, I don't think he knows that Sphinx is still around, so that's why he's surprised.
Yeah, okay. I don't blame you. They're highly elusive creatures.
Hmm. Fair point. Oh, by the way, what else that do they think highly of besides themselves, the elves, things?
Well, the sea, obviously, and the main dwellers within.
Oh,
Well, that's
even the creatures,
two
even the
things
creatures
we
of
can
the
agree
sea.
on.
Well, the great ones.
Is the
There are
Kraken real?
powers underneath the sea that
Is the Kraken real? Moment is just gonna question because knowing that Sphinx is, he thought is
it's
like.
entirely possible. I've not met one, mind you.
Well, I only heard about stories, so I haven't met one myself as well. Okay.
There are many ways an expedition through the seas might fail. Which is why I was so perplexed that some of you are so insistent in exploring a distant temple.
Well, the world is not going to save itself. We have to do something, no matter what it takes.
That sounds like it might trigger someone. I saying in character.
Nasruddin says, well, if you say that out loud in Tazim, they might think you were extremely religious of a different sort.
Well, we're not in Tanzim right now.
Where he is like smiling.
Are you still wearing your helmet because we can't see the smile?
He's wearing his helmet.
He's wearing his helmet, yep.
Nasruddin shrugs. Even here, well, you're still alive for some reason.
Amazingly.
So, are you done yet? Can I continue with my business?
Again,
Oh, yeah.
our apologies. I stand up.
Already has been standing all this time next to Alara.
Do I know?
I've been standing next to the door.
Out of character, do I know? Did I see Burks give money to Nasruddin last time? Because I remember it was like 10 gold or something.
Yes, for the thing that we caused us last time.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it as custom to give money to people, and she's gonna like pull out 10 gold, and she's going to be like, for all the trouble, I hope this is commonplace here. And then I
Well,
put 10 gold on the table.
well, as long as there's the understanding that this does not oblige me to anything.
No, of course not. In fact, your time.
Very
We
well,
owe
I
you a
accept.
favor.
Yes. And I go to the door. Again, we have our people here if you need anything.
If you want to ask more about Tazim, don't tell him I sent you, but you can try asking Sashir. He was also one of the expedition teams once.
I'm
Really?
surprised.
Hey, Sasha.
It's not
Out
like
of character, Sasha is the bartender, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't look like one. Huh. Okay.
Well, if we ask Sasha, he'll know that Nasruddin asked us to ask him anyway. It's not like it's not hard to discern.
Yeah.
I smile and I'm like, understood. And then I walk out the door to the noisy barky bark outside.
I open the door and then
Already
just like,
bow and say thank you, and then he leaves. Close the door.
And then we walk back to the tavern. That was actually kind of strange. I'm directing this to both the people with me. I
What
didn't
is
expect
strange?
such forwardness, to be honest.
Wait, what?
The what?
Forwardness.
No, but he was a bit reluctant at the beginning.
Well, that's understandable considering in his culture. Too many questions.
A
He
lot of
was
people don't like to like answer a lot of stuff because as he said, like it's not a must to give you an answer.
I'm talking more about the custom. He might be somebody who is of the area.
Well, he said he was a law master.
Yeah.
I assume that is a high rank of sorts.
Well, do I know about the expedition group of the lore master? Like, do they always go with the expedition group and just shut down everything just like a bard do?
Okay, so there's something called lull mages.
Huh?
Seagate has quite a few of these things, which is the main reason why Seagate still exists. So there are people that specialize in calming the elements.
Like
It's not
lullaby.
Yeah.
it's not lore mages but lull mages.
Yeah.
Yes.
LUL.
LULL. That
Well,
counts the elements.
Let me post the picture in the Kate group. So just read the flavor text there.
The full heart will venture into a calm mountain without lone
Interesting.
mage to tame the raging rocks and leading fires. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so assume that he is a lol mage then.
Huh? No,
Is it?
like merfolk are known for, some of them are known for being lull mages, but lore masters are just more of like the record keepers and knowledge people. It's possible that they overlap.
Would it be possible? Would they always will have a lore master within an expedition group, or it's just
Oh, it's a proper expedition group will have at least a lull mage, a lore master, and like several other key persons within it. So I would say as a guide, you have a bit of an idea of how it works. So a lull mage is someone that focuses on like calming the elements and environments. But from your experience, they tend to be like extremely unaware of things going on as well, because this requires a certain connectedness.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like the most common threat is a rock falling on your head while you're doing your things, or like stuff
Okay.
like that, because they have to put their focus into it.
Mm-hmm.
Law masters are the people with all the scrolls and stuff who have to identify things and try and piece together what's going on. If there's more than one lore master in a group, it might be disastrous because they tend to argue.
Oh, okay. Idea
Uh,
is clashing.
Yeah. Then you also have obviously you have guides. Like usually the more guides the better. And then of course you have the muscle. And if it's foreign territory, besides the guides, there might also be like a house representative to smooth things over, and like diplomacy phase person thing. And needless to say, trap specialist, logistics person, healer.
So basically, a good normal party, but with additional law mage and lore masters.
So actually, let me just look at the D&D stuff. So player options. Let's look at classes. Oh, barbarian. Yeah, you want one of those. Bard, probably the diplomacy person to talk things down. Like cleric goes without saying, although here like clerics are a bit stranger because religion is wonky. Allow mage will be closer to druid.
Okay.
Fighters are like your standard guard muscle things. monks are like almost unheard of except amongst the core people. Paladins don't exist here, period. Rangers, yeah, they are like barbarians and rangers are typically the guides. Rogue is your trap person, but like he's the most likely person to screw up the group if they don't trust him. Warlock is unheard of. Wizard,
I am one of them, unheard of.
yeah, they probably think you're like a sorcerer or a wizard or something. Because again, in a place where it looks at mana rather than schools of magic, like who knows the difference anyway? Sorcerers, warlock, wizard are probably all the same to to them.
Oh, okay then. I will fit quite well if only they don't see through my ridiculous
Oh
vampire.
no, I have to pretend.
Yeah.
Paladin, they probably just think you're some like fighter thing or whatever.
If you just don't use your holy magic, you might be like a fighter or something, a very good fighter, or a very bad one.
I think Verdi has to watch his mouth when he goes there.
But again, it depends on like magic. You could just as easily be an Eldritch Knight to them. They wouldn't care.
Eldritch Knight is fine, right?
Yeah, Eldritch Knight would be fine because they study
common,
magic.
right?
Again, this plane uses mana and not like schools of magic.
Yeah, so I think Eldritch Knight is pretty common.
But Eldritch Knight doesn't use protection a lot, so
I'm just like a different sort of Eldritch Knight.
So yeah, this is what was the question again? Yeah, about like an expedition team. So typically like they'll have a very nice balance, like little party to cover all ends and details they need.
I see. But that's a very large group for one expedition, though.
Expeditions are large.
Yeah, expedition is supposed to be large.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
And a lot of resources.
Exactly. Small.
Also, expeditions will have how would you put it? Redundancies.
Yeah, because you need
Oops,
double,
I'll only
triple of
find a
everything.
guide. Let's turn around now. No, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Because expeditions are planned for like months.
Yeah.
So
you
do they
need
have like
redundancy.
backups and all that?
Yes.
Yeah, like backup trap finder.
Yeah.
Like they may have redundancies depending on how far the place is. Again, like they plan stuff for months. Like the plan is that if they find a ruin, their plan is to go and explore it completely and come back out.
Yeah, because they need to find something, right?
Which is why it's so weird for us to go, hey, we want to go here. And
Yes.
the guy's like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
You're here
Let's
for
go.
11 days. You haven't planned yet. She's like, what the fuck? Okay.
But we don't really want to spend in-game 20 sessions planning for months, right?
No, that's what he's thinking. Like, that's what Nas is thinking. Like, what are these scrubs? 11 days here, think they know everything.
We don't.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly,
you
we
came here to
don't.
ask.
That's why Larry's like,
No idea which corner of the earth that we have into underground, on top, in the lava.
I'm pretty sure Moment shared his knowledge about the continents.
she looks at Moment and she goes, can you pass me the book for a while? Or I'd like to flip through, at least while we're walking.
Oh, okay. I do want to read it tonight as
Yeah,
well.
no,
to
I just want to read through because, like, just flip
Yeah,
through
sure.
a few pages and then I look for the index, pretty much.
Verity would like to ask. Moment.
Apparently, it's not published yet, so like there's not much of an index here since it's still a mostly personal journal and recordings. But what sort of
Oh, so-
information are you looking for?
Just mostly culture because when we get in there, this is in character. She's flipping through. At moments, since you're going to read this, keep an eye on any cultural do's and don'ts because we'll be appearing there quite suddenly, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's
And
quite true.
we would like to not make any enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So keep it As quiet
Actually,
as possible,
I
as
do
safe
want
as
to read
possible.
something like that as well, since that, as you know, them and the Gudras people isn't that friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, Roman. Could you
Yes.
bring up the map of or what you know about this Zendikar playing from account to Azim or the
Wait,
surrounding areas?
you
Where
want
is
to
the direction of?
know the direction to Tazim?
Yes, the general direction.
Do you have your compass?
Yes.
Oh, actually, it's hard to say, but generally, I look towards the sea. It's I just like put both of my hand flat and it's like generally that direction, but I do not know where. Towards the sea.
Where you
Towards
look at his
like
compass?
outside the port, like just directly outside the port, like that's generally where it is.
Where you look at his compass, that is what. Which direction is that? From account. Because I do not have the map, so I need to
I
like
think so.
visualize a bit.
It seems like east and south.
East, southeast, southeast direction. Account.
Hmm. Interesting.
Okay. So where do you ask?
If we go there normally, how long does it take?
Ooh.
If you ask the question, Nasruddin's, you left already, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I left.
If you ask that question, Nasruddin's office, he'll give you like 1,000-year log.
Yeah, that's why
it's
he
like-
didn't ask. He
that-
knows the guide might know.
Yeah, but Moment is going to like mm,
Moment, the short answer is it'll make your whole attempted trip to the Teeth of Arkham look like 5 feet of movement.
Is
I-
it
I-
okay.
nearest,
Since we have been to places before, remember our first destination to the Teeth of Account.
yes.
Think of that journey, but times 20.
So for about a year or so.
We might not even survive the sea.
No, I'm just asking because
But
if
yeah,
we
but
reach there will be questions.
yeah, if you survive the sea, well, that's a big plus for you already. But of course, we are not going through sea, right? Based on
Well-
our understanding.
Considering what
go?
he said, if they're indeed the bastions of knowledge of everything, surely they would guess that we are knowledgeable people of portals, because that's where we're going to appear on one
Also-
of their things.
Also, we need to study more of how they view portal and stuff, and we already know that portals normally in here, even in Gudras, is a very big thing, and they want to find out more accessible ways and whatnot.
That would also be another point to research in the library.
Out of character, have we taken the ropes or do we take it from him later? The
What
pilgrim
ropes?
ropes.
Oh,
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we gotta give it back.
We need to find materials to make it. Is it like how rough is this cloth? Like, is it animal skin, like leather or something?
No, it's like a fairly simple cloth, like weaved together from. You think it might be some kind of a vine or some kind of ocean material, but like the material is not so important as the fact that the ropes look like well, it would normally look quite inconspicuous in a library, you imagine. Maybe not in Arkham, because like who wears flammable stuff here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you ask Moment, Alara?
Should I be wearing these then?
I mean, honestly, considering
I think I would be wearing one of those, and
I-
also try to hide something of me that they don't like.
I feel like if ever there was a time to showcase that you have pointy ears, now would be good.
point. Oh,
you remember they have better views on elves, and I
I
do not.
point to a moment.
Oh, I
Dislike,
don't. I
like.
do not have. I do not have elf ears or pointy ears, sadly. Actually, are they start growing already? How old am I? Wait, let me check. I am. Where's my age bar? I remember I put it down. Bio. I am 325. Does my ear already start growing longer? Jim,
What is it?
is my ear already start growing longer based on my age 325?
Yes, but I mean, like, most people will see you're a vampire and not notice your ears.
Oh yeah, true.
Very last moment.
I'm not sure how elves here would behave differently.
My ears doesn't grow that long. Don't worry about that. But I do not know what to hide in general. Maybe just everything about me.
Do you have any disguising?
I used disguise long before, but I since have exhausted its use and I haven't replenished that since I became a guide.
Well, I suppose a trip to the marketplace would be good.
Yeah, I was thinking of buying one since after we discussed that with anyone, just so that I have something to prepare to hide myself in if I need to.
That is good.
Well, we could speak to Sasha about vampires going to this place.
I'm actually quite worried about Marushka. I might go find her. I think she had a
Well,
really hard day.
the good thing is, even with the portal, I think we have a bit of planning to do.
I would say you guys, we would have a few days based on how fast you guys are doing. We won't take a month. It will take a few days to prepare your stuff. Well, we do need to find materials for this cloth.
That as well. Well,
Now that I mentioned,
let's give it
now
3
that I
days to
realize-
prepare. If anything, to make sure you've got your disguise down pat, waterproof it.
Yeah, I also don't want to wear my hat, I guess. But I have extremely long hair.
And it will give us some time to actually go through this book and glean as
Also,
much information as
yeah.
possible.
Knowing that you will take a few days of the time, what is your plan on the thing below us?
Out of character, you mean the rats?
Yes, out of character, I mean the red.
The Rat King.
Since we do have a few days.
Yes, I think we need to at least capture the Red King before we head off. They do
We
come
could.
from Sigil.
We could do a double duty. Research, Rat King, I guess.
Yes.
The plaza should be still open right now, right? It's not like nighttime yet.
Yeah, it's open. Like it's morning.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
we talked to anyone. Nothing much has passed. I mean, we already talked
oh
to
yeah,
the
it
Doom Guards,
technically would
came
be
back
still
out.
morning. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm gonna go to the plaza
This afternoon, late morning.
and going to buy some I would say some sort of disguise kit like makeup powders, cloth,
I mean, this
clothing and
price
whatnot.
kit is 25 GP. It's a 2.
Yeah, so 25 GP will be over here 25 GP deduct for myself 25. Okay.
Another thing to glean is whether or not they're very accepting of people who are half fire. I'm thinking mostly of Rosa.
Wait, are you?
Sorry, just to clarify, like the only ones like they have outright trouble with are vampires. As for other
Yeah.
outsiders, it depends a lot more on whether or not it clashes with their views and such.
Yeah, so I gotta check with the book to see if there's any view clashes. And make sure everybody is on the page to not ask too many questions.
Wait, so you are going to bring her as well to the temple?
Huh?
You're
No,
going to
we're
bring-
all going to arrive in the city, so I have to be sure everybody's not gonna get harassed.
Oh, I thought only the player party not that was going there, but I assume wrong.
Huh?
Oh wait, no, never mind. I just remember something. Someone in our party is a. I keep thinking it's a gnome. It's not a gnome. It's a fire genasi. She keeps saying that she's short, so I keep thinking it's a gnome.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. That is my bad.
Well, again, as long as the people are safe and we can get there and back again without any trouble.
Yeah. I don't think there's any problem. But she says she's fire genasi as well.
Well, if the only real issue is with vampires,
That's what I
I
heard.
don't see a problem
Techni-
there, but just in case, since you're going to read the book first, you can glean
Yeah.
through it. We also have to wait for Bugs to arrive. Speaking of, out of character, what was his reply?
Kip, are you done eating?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
quite a while back.
Okay. So Alara, what was your sending to Burks
Ah,
again?
shit.
I thought you messaged him or something.
Yeah,
like that,
I
or-
messaged him and I asked him, are you still alive and when are you coming back?
Ah. Then the reply would be, yes, I'm very much still alive. I'm not sure when I'll be getting back. I'm trying. That would be the reply.
Okay. Well, Bugs, if I remember, you mentioned that he's trying to get back. So we do have to wait for him.
Well, we do have a few days, so assuming it's not a long journey to get back home, we can wait.
Oh.
I suppose we can wait him as long as it takes.
Not too long, I assume. Not too long.
How long are you willing to wait?
I have my lifetime to wait, but technically speaking, he doesn't have a lifetime to wait.
I'm going to do a sending really quick to Tia, and I'm going to go, Tia, I need as much information as possible regarding the Rat King. Don't mention this to anyone.
Sorry?
I'm asking her to get me as much information about the Rat King and to not mention that to anyone.
Okay. You find you find Tia as herself today, looking unobtrusive within the compass point. Well, or at least as inobtrusive as someone who is obviously in the dark corner watching everyone else might be.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
it's just a quick sending.
Okay, Tia informs. I already have some things to report.
I look to Verity and I'm like, Tia has information about the Rat King if you want to make our way to the compass point.
Alright.
And then maybe we can go see the elusive person in that room.
Alright.
Okay, the way he is just worried about Verushka. Alright. But here you go.
Yeah. Out of character, do we know where Veruska is? Is she still in the office? Or, you know?
Are you looking for her?
Yeah, Verity is looking for her.
Alara is not
Give
actively
me a
looking for her.
perception or survival check.
Hua.
Well.
Okay.
Well.
Well,
Poking.
You do find Veruska back at the compass point, apparently with like a backpack and a lot of things at the table.
Oh no. How is she looking, expression wise?
Blank at the moment.
Stun mullet.
Ricky's gonna go up to her. And he's going to ask,
Why are you picking her?
I will have to leave this town soon and find other ventures.
Oh, but you're the librarian of the office.
Not anymore. He's found new help.
Ricky looks at Alara. And then he asks her to join in the conversation.
She joins. She sits down.
I think having Rushka around is actually beneficial for archiving.
Definitely.
I think that you don't have to leave, Rushka.
That's not my decision.
Where will you go
Has
to?
spoken to you after the last conversation.
And no one made it quite clear.
Where will you go?
That's entirely my own decision now.
Would you like to stay here?
No.
I see. If that's really what you want, then I will not keep you here then. Safe travel, Ruska.
She just nods and then like continues nursing her drink.
Poor girl.
Ricky will fork out like, 10 go and just like put it next to her and says,
It's for safety.
And her fist slams down on the table. I do not need charity or pity right now.
It's not pity.
Sachir gets up from the car. Whoa! What's going on now? You mind giving her a bit of space, maybe?
Oh,
Ricky's not taking his coat. He's just backing off.
Yep. I'm going towards Tia.
Veruska brushes the coins off to the floor and then sits back. And that does cause quite a bit of a scene as heads are turning and all that. Verity and Alara, you are being noticed by everyone at the moment.
I want to, since I tried, but I didn't get any impression last time, but I want to try again, see if I can see any influence of anyone still in her.
Influence? What do you mean influence?
Like last time I tried to check see if there's any vampire influence that is like surrounding her, or is she doing this at her own will?
No, there's no hard signs floating around her.
It's not like a sign. Because I'm also part vampire, I want to see like if she is like being affected by one of the ancient vampire, like powerful that cannot be disobeyed type of thing. Like I cannot do certain thing to my blood masters.
She's not a now, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah, that's what I come to a conclusion. She's not now. She's not a vampire. So I'm wondering if she is under some sort of spell.
And you can make an insight check.
Okay. See, where are they? They are not good, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Literally. That's 20.
Oh, 20 total.
Uh, you can tell that she's not taking well to current events, and especially not from foreigners.
Hmm.
Like, she's a core,
Mm-hmm.
and the core people of Zendikar tend to like be very close with each other as family and such. But it also means that they are, they are close. They are a close, harmonious community with strong traditions binding its members together.
Mhm.
And this also means that when things go wrong, like the last people they want to see is like outsiders.
Mm.
Oh, okay. I will slowly drag Verity away, and then it's like now is not a good time, Verity.
He already backed off.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. And then I'm actually just. Well, are you is Alara going
What?
your informer, Alara?
Sorry, what? You sort of blanked out.
Oh,
My internet
okay.
went me.
Okay, sorry. Are you going to sit with your informer?
Yeah, I'm already sitting. I
Ah,
left. I pretty much got up and started moving away when she went, "No, I don't want to stay here." I was like, "Yeah,
Okay.
okay, bye."
Okay. Okay. And then I go to the. And then I see how many people is in the bar right now, in the inn right now.
About 10 people, and it looks like the Gurgle brothers are going for the coins now, and there's a bit of a scuffle on the floor around, but none that actually touches Veruska herself.
Okay. I'll let them take the let the brothers take the coin. I'm not trying to do anything, and I'm going to put down. Wait, how many
He's
is it?
now trying to busy himself as like it seems a few other people are trying for the coins, which is still money, and then like, he's
Yeah.
like, hey, out of it, get outside, sort it out outside, shoot.
Actually, now I see this. I'm just gonna toss that 10 coin. Is anyone been taken up yet? I'm just gonna toss it outside the inn immediately.
What? It's already on the ground.
Yeah, it's
Marushka
on the
sweep
ground,
it
but
off.
there's going to have a fight for coinage. I'm just gonna toss them outside and let them
So are
sort
you
it out.
picking up the coins on the ground?
No,
He's
he's
throwing
his
extra.
new coins.
Are you
No,
throwing more?
I'm trying the one that is on the floor out.
You
that is
are
No,
not
you
in
have
the
to
ground.
pick it up
people
first.
for it. Do you want to fight for it?
Oh, they are fighting for it.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I'm not.
already on the ground. It's
Yeah.
already on the ground.
Oh, then I'm not gonna touch them just because it will anger the bartender. I'm not gonna touch it then.
Okay. Out, sort it out outside, shoot.
Yeah, I think since Verushka is not reacting well, I think Verity will just leave the inn outside.
Okay.
And I'm gonna place down. There's like how many is for L? If I'm not forgotten, 2 silver, right? Is it?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pay like 5 gold. That enough to refill everyone in here. Just let's just say this is for the house, for the trouble that unslightly scuffle around here. Sorry about that.
Oh, never a dull moment with you outsider folk sometimes.
I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I
How's
put
it
on the 5 gold and then let them refill.
Sachi looks at Moment. How's it going? The commission of yours ending anytime soon?
Uh, no, doesn't seem like it.
Well, which other volcano are they off to this time?
Well, funny thing, they just came off the Mount Veluca.
Valakut? You went all the way to Valakut.
Yeah, just came back from there.
Well, I wouldn't go there in a hurry, Val. You. I've been hearing rumblings. Sounds
No,
like
well,
eruption.
we saw it actually, the rumble and all those things going off. That's why we decided to come back.
Ah, smart man.
Well, they were planning to reach to the top and see what's in the mountain cave. Well, I did told them
Well,
about
there'll
the.
be an eruption in your face if you go there.
Yeah, well, I mean like before the eruption and whatnot, but that's then. Now is now.
Wait, what do you mean before the eruption?
There wasn't any eruption before we were planning to go there. From a distance, there's nothing.
Alright, just stay out of trouble for whatever it means. He goes
Uh,
back to his bar.
and then I'm gonna just go and sit. Wait, Verity is outside,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
I'm going. Do I want to know about this information? Nah, I'm just gonna talk to her later. So I'm gonna go outside with Verity. I'm gonna go outside with Verity.
Alright. Alara, what are you doing?
She is going to sit down, and as soon as things settle down and people stop looking,
Yes, you sit down where?
with Tia.
Tia is gone. There's
Huh?
just a note there.
No, I pick up the note.
It's like, you're attracting too much attention.
Whoa. Do I know where she went?
She's probably back in her room at this point.
I go to her room.
You have interesting friends.
Not by choice.
How's Ahi doing?
He's alright. This place is very interesting, dangerous.
That's one way of putting it. So, where are you off to now? I heard you had a chat with someone important.
Well, after you left, if you know anything about this guy, Anoan,
That's the person we're here to find, isn't it?
we found him. He fired Varuska, so that's something. And we're
It's very
doing some
interesting.
errands for him right now, since he has most of the information. We have none. And the more information we have about him, the better. But right now, what do you have on the Rat King?
Very interesting. So, she coughs slightly, looking around, and then she triple checks the door and the corridors around, looks under like the bed sheet to see if there's any halflings hiding there or like anything on the ceiling or such, before turning back to Alara again. What if I told you that apparently the Rat King's end, they are willing to negotiate?
Negotiate? On what? Freedom?
Well, they're not very keen on folks poking around and poking sharp things at them in general.
Understandably. What do they want?
Well, they might be willing to share certain information if you're willing to leave them alone.
If we know that they're not up to anything destructive, and then I roll my eyes in this place.
Well,
at least in
define
Aquatown.
destructive.
Less destructive, more disruptive to the town that we have to be in for a while. I've decided that this is the appropriate place to do base camp.
She thinks of it. My analysis of things suggests that certain things may have to be shifted around before the order works in their favor, but they seem to be the kind of controlling from the shadows sort.
Again, as long as nobody we know get hurt, and nobody figures out it's them, I'm sure the people of Town wouldn't mind.
No. This has nothing to do with the people of Alpha Town. This is between, well, the people that have been bothering them and them.
Who exactly?
They are not interested in meeting with the people of Alpha Town. They are interested in meeting with the likes of you and, well, not the blatant ones without subtlety. Ahi's not around when she's saying this, by the way.
I feel if we do meet up with them, we're at a severe disadvantage. If it's just me.
Well, they'll be sending one of theirs, but not more than one, as far as they say.
Do we have a meeting place?
If you agree. Nothing happens without agreement.
Well, I do want to know what they're up to.
Mind you, they are not likely to answer about what they're up to.
And whether or not they'll be willing to help us get the other 3. Maybe we can come to an accord.
I'm not entirely sure what's up on the table at the moment, but you can be sure it doesn't involve them stopping.
Let me think about this. How soon do they need a reply?
Well, as soon as possible is preferable, but they only meet at night.
Like a bunch of rats they are. Interesting premise. I'll have to have a think. Clearly obvious, Officer Verity and his partner would be too volatile to bring. I would have to go alone. With you in the shadows, I'm assuming?
Well, yes, shadows, but again, she makes finger quotes, shadows. It would be rather disrespectful to go completely alone after all.
I nod. I'll get back to this.
She
In the
nods.
meantime,
She says, and one more thing, I do think our strange friend at the end of the room might also have been meeting them.
strange friend at the end of the room. Ah, you know, I still have to meet them. Maybe we'll do that after this. It seems of great importance. And we do have a few days here before the rest of our people are back to normal. And we plan a bit more. We're going to be away for quite a bit.
Oh, and just one last teeny little thing.
I nod.
Tia smiles a little bit, and in the sensation of someone has the whole like I know something you don't kind of smile, and she goes, so after that whole little distraction you made at Varuska's place at the office,
Yeah.
I took a bit of a look myself.
What did you find?
So the rat man destroyed many things and took away quite a few things.
Mm-hmm.
From the way I see it, from what I remember, from what I saw of the shelves and all that, it seems to me that there was more things than were recorded.
More things that were recorded out of character. Like,
as Tia explains, she has a weird way of mental working. So the way she explains that she did a calculation of one shelf has how many things, can hold how many things, and she sort of did like a subtraction of what's gone and from what seems to be taken away and all that, and there seems to be stuff unaccounted for.
Very interesting.
Again, this is a unique Tia working thing. You're not sure if this is how ordinary people compute at all.
I'm inclined to trust her math. Whatever it is, I don't really trust the rat people.
Of course not. But another question you should pose yourself is how much do you trust this vampire?
Not at all.
It's the forthright people that have the most to hide.
That is true. Well, if anything, if we find anything interesting while going, then I'll speak to Kavros about it. But in the
Should not.
meantime,
You do that, I'll go and brief Ahi and bring him up to date.
that would be good.
Yeah. So she heads off after that.
I leave the room to look for the rest. Because after this, we'll be meeting the guy down in the hallway.
In the meantime, what does Verity and Moment do? In fact, Ben, if you're there, what's Nerif doing?
Right.
Oh, is Ben still eating? Okay, never mind. It's only 13 minutes since he declared eating KGB. He shouldn't be finished yet. Okay, what's Verity and Moment doing?
Well, he's
Verity's still wearing the helmet, right?
Yeah, he's still wearing a helmet. He's just waiting outside, contemplating something.
Sorry, darling. Something out here is just not like what you expect in where you came from.
Perhaps I might be a bit too meddling in people's affairs.
To be fair, your kindness here might be different view to the others with different race around here.
Yes, I realize that.
And for their people, I'm just jolt my head, pointing inwards, noting their people as in her, that their people is more, let's say, doesn't take too kindly if something doesn't go well, and they always go through as their family members or friends, and if you are not one of them, it's not gonna go well.
I see. I hope she has a
Easiest our journey. Staying easy is the easy part.
I don't think it's safe enough for her to
It's
travel.
never, trust me, darling, it's never safe traveling anywhere here.
I'm
I know it. You have your beliefs and whatnot. I think kind of best if you put your worrying to your small group of people more than others out there in need. I do know that you do it in good heart, darling. Don't get me wrong. But views for other people is not as same as views for, well, your people.
I can't say that I will try that, but
I
thank you for
I
the
I know
advice.
I know whatever I say. Uh, I have tried a lot of times telling you guys, no, just hug the walls and don't let the boulders go through and then you face tank it. I said, don't poke the water or no, the Leviathan comes. Even though I said it, you guys will still go on ahead. Futile attempts on my end, but I tried. Try to keep you guys safe. Hey,
Thank you for that. You've been a good guy, you know.
mm, I try my best to keep the one alive around me still alive. There's not much people alive in this world, and less so that are still good heart.
You do have a good heart as well, woman.
I do not know if how long I can keep this heart.
Verity pats you and says,
As long as you can, woman.
As long as I can. Ah, oh well. Do you want to take a walk just to get things out? The plaza is open. Might have to see if any trinkets you want to buy or something. Just take a walk. Fresh air.
Alright.
The air is extremely fresh today. It's rare to have such an occasion.
I'll bring Sayo along as well.
Sure, I'll wait out here.
I guess Sayo, Verity, and Verity will go look for Sayo. I'm not sure. He's somewhere.
Okay. You find Sahil actually going around the bazaar.
Huh. And then Verity will say,
He
"Oh,
seems to be looking very hard for signs of rat intrusions and such.
Actually, how long did the conversation between Alara and Tia take?"
It took quite some time. Because again, they go back to the room and all that.
Verity will say to a moment,
Sayo is in a marketplace now, and it seems like Alara is taking her time. We can have a little walk and return and see what she garnered.
We should take a little walk. There's no time like now.
That is true.
Also, I'll say that Sayo excused himself after Eno and all that because, he probably needs to go vent somewhere else in a way that Verity doesn't need to see.
"Oh, oh no." Oh,
And also, sometimes he prefers to let Verity have Verity's own bleeding heart moments without commenting on it.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Verity does that a lot
Hmm.
to him.
Verity goes, we need to save orphans now. Say, excuse me, I need to go and fill some paperwork.
Yeah, but sometimes Verity says a lot of things, and I think he's just very good at listening, but he doesn't comment a lot, I suppose.
Yeah, but when he gets a bit too much, also he goes and sends somewhere else.
Yeah, here go, do his thing. Well, Verity understands. He understands.
Yeah.
I mean, so I gathered that Saya doesn't really like the whole Anoan deal thing.
You can tell Anoan, Sayo does not like Anoan at all.
I see. Yeah, well, because he wasn't saying anything, so I didn't know.
Well, out of character, I don't even trust anyone, even though he's one of my kind. Actually, I don't trust my kind.
Everyone doesn't trust him except for Verity. Verity has faith that he is trying to better them.
I would say that Sayo's indication that doesn't like Anoan is he just taps Verity on the shoulder, squeezes hard, then goes like that.
Oh, after the conversation he just go. Oh, all right then. I'll meet him back at the bazaar, I suppose.
Yeah.
With Moment. So he's just looking around for rats.
Yeah, he's in full duty mood.
Oh,
Because being
no.
on duty helps put his mind off other trivial things.
Oh yeah, he's in the mood. I mean, in the mode, the muscular mode. So
Yeah.
Verity will approach him and Sire?
Yes, Verity, I'm working now.
And did you find anything?
Well, so far I've had no less than 4 merchants try to sell me rat traps, of which I'm pretty sure 3 of them don't really function as advertised. And the last one perhaps a bit too well.
Oh, well, have you found any rats around?
I found some areas which I think they might come out from, but I'm not sure if they will.
I
Well,
see.
not in daylight anyway.
See. Well, on our side we have met the plot master. I could brief you about what we found out.
Anything that immediately affects our situation?
Mm, not immediately, we're preparing to go in a few days.
If it's not immediate, then I'll hear from you tonight.
Alright. Alara might have some information about the Red King from her informant.
Anything that immediately affects our situation?
We'll hear from her perhaps later. You can continue with your duty, Masika, sir.
Right. And he continues marching around, and like the merchants just watch him come and go, and like we're not sure if they're planning new merchandising based on this strange figure.
Oh no. Verity just looks at Sire like being audited. He's like, he just wants to distract himself.
I'm gonna whisper in Verity's ear is like, your boy there is sticking out like a sore thumb.
Well, he is being a Masika. He's trying to find out about the Red King.
Hmm.
Well,
Apparently the merchant has other ideas for him though.
other ideas?
Well, not malicious ideas. They are merchants. They want to sell stuff.
Alright.
Just because it stick out like a sore thumb.
As long as it doesn't endanger, so it should be fine.
I don't think anyone here would be endangering him, knowing how he's capable of doing. He should be fine.
Well, look for the thing that you're searching for. The
Oh yeah. Well, technically at this point I'll be looking for the what you call the disguise kit then.
Yeah, you find it easily enough.
Yeah.
Although you do have to tell them to stop trying to push makeup kits and further things onto you as well into the realms of vanity.
Darling, my skin is not as pale as like that. I do not need
Are
pink.
you sure you don't need this feathered boa? It goes as a perfect accompaniment.
No,
How about
darling.
bedroom slippers?
I have perfect shoes.
Buy two free one.
I
How about
just
a hat to keep the sun out of your face and maybe ashes too?
I pull out my own hat. There you go. I'm
Verity
just
just keeping an eye out on
pull
Sire
out
while
a
he's
big
shopping.
just suddenly pull out a big fedora out of my coat. It's like, there you go.
Right. Anyway, it seems they have no shortage of ways to pester you if needed.
And I'm a local. Don't worry. I know my way around here.
Oh, you're a local, even better. Then you'll be interested in expedition supplies.
Oh no, not again. I just squint my
Verity will look for a jeweler of sorts. Jeweler.
Okay. You do find one like who's has a little store with several like gems of questionable authenticity laid out, but there's almost no customers here because like who wastes money on appearances and knickknacks in a place like this?
I'm going after I purchase my disguise kit and then they're just pestering me. I'm just going to follow Verity just so that she don't get ripped off.
Okay, now they're distributed between you and Verity.
Verity
Well, they're
looks at the rings actually.
You look at the ring and the man stands up. Yes, sir, how can... Oh, you're a bit overdressed, aren't you? Well, I know just the thing. You want a signet ring, yes? Something to seal wax with, something to show your stature and confidence.
No, actually,
He looks around. Is there like a simple ring band?
Well, this is Akam, so like most of the rings here have at least some kind of stone set in them, probably from local surroundings.
He's looking for like, are there any like, is adamantine really, really rare?
You don't see any adamantine around here. You do see a lot of red color rocks and stones of varying hues and shapes and sizes.
So the material of the
Fine black ones as well.
ring itself is just steel, right? Platinum
Just steel.
steel. He looks at it and he contemplates a bit.
Yes, does something catch your fancy?
do you do custom rings for with materials if I find some?
Oh, custom. Well, yes, depends on what you supply. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm actually seeking something along the lines of adamantine, but I'm still seeking place to purchase or like that.
Oh, adamantine. That's a bit of a tall order. Uh, you might want to try the local smith.
I see. I'm not sure if the smith does rings as delicate as yours.
He does anything if you pay him enough.
I see.
He looks again and says,
I might have to find the smith then. Thank
Tell you
you.
what, why don't you describe the specifications to me and I'll pass word to him.
All right.
Verity looks a bit flustered, but then he's like, but Moment is here. But then like, he's like, he's not gonna dismiss Moment. He's just like,
I will write it down for you then.
Okay, so you write down and pass it to him.
yep.
All right, he just nods. And anything else I can do for you?
I think that's all. Thank you very much. Shall I return to you about the information or shall I speak to the smith?
I'll let you know when it's done. Do check back now and then.
All right. Thank you.
Right. Ben, are you ready? Or still having mic problems?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what is Nerif going to do?
Well, Nerif has 15 hours of spell scribing ahead of him, so I think he'll be doing that. Still the
Okay.
same day, right?
So he's just out of it for now. Okay.
Yes.
Then finally we go to Kip then.
Oh, Quib.
Your turn to shine. Go.
Kip, you there?
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see.
Hello.
Yeah, you're there. Okay. Okay, I think I've got the correct song for this.
Ooh, song.
So music in this, I'll just put the link in Discord. So, Berks,
All right.
you're not sure how long it's been, your body just succumbs to the need for rest after that whole harrowing ordeal out there, and then with just barely any word from Alara in with the sending. You wake up on the roof of some skyscraper, feeling horribly out of place before realizing that this is a city where everything is tall rather than everything is underground and submerged in ash and flame and such.
Okay.
There's like the whirring of gears around you as like strange mechanical devices flitter past with ornate filigree. And it's like noise and bustle can be heard all the way, even from up here, from the ground bazaars and sheer amount of foot traffic. And there's just so many people in one place at once. I'll put the picture again as a reminder.
Yep, we are like up real high.
And the first thing you notice is, well, Chandra isn't with you. Instead, there's like this big ornate dragon-themed scroll in your hands with a note. You're catching that so far?
Mm-hmm.
The scroll says in like very like handwriting arguably more horrible than yours.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm illiterate. How can it
Please.
be worse?
Oh, your bird can't read, right?
I'm making a joke. No.
Okay.
You can-
It says, please take care of this. If there's a chance my mother is still around, I need to look for her. I'll try to be back quickly.
Oh my god. Right, give me a second. Okay. Did you say take care of this for me? Is that how it started? How
Yeah.
it started? Okay, I look around the note to see if there's anything, or like if it's like asking me to take care of the note.
Well, the note is attached to the dragon scroll thing, obviously.
Okay.
But Burks takes the note and takes care of it and leaves the scroll behind. That's fine too.
All right. Okay. So that's all. Is that all the note says?
Yeah.
All right. Damn. I didn't expect Chandra to not be here. I still haven't long rested, right?
You have long rested.
Okay. All
Because
right.
when you wake up, it's like, Chandra not found 404.
Okay. All right. Let me just.
Let me put another picture of the place, just like, because these pictures are very pretty.
Yeah. The place is very pretty. Yeah.
Like everything just feels so spotless and clean, and you feel like the complete outsider here.
Okay. Let's see. Not gonna bring that. There's no reason to bring that. Okay. I'm going to see if this works. I know I was told to not cast any spells, but
Okay, actually works.
Mhm.
Give me a nature check.
Nature check. I got you. 1 second.
You're a druid, right?
Yep, I'm a druid indeed. Nature. There you go.
Okay. So 19. The first thing you do when you wake up and feel around is you feel cut off,
Okay.
as if the raw mana or raw magic and natural magic is like a complete scarcity in this place. Everything feels artificial and constructed.
Okay. Damn. That doesn't bode well for me. Okay. I'm gonna test it real quick by trying to cast like some light cantrips, so like some druidcraft. I'm gonna try to get like a flower in my hand, something like that. Do I still feel magic? Like, do I still have, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, you make a small little flower in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception check.
All right, one sec. Perception. Here you go.
Okay. Like, you do your little flower, like, you feel a little like a static in your hand, as if like some kind of a, well, your magic has sort of interacted with the environment around it.
Okay.
And you hear like weird little faint sounds, like whirring noises, maybe like, wait, you wouldn't know what a mosquito is, because like mosquitoes don't freaking survive in Zendikar. But you hear a faint like whirring noise,
Uh-huh.
and it seems like some like tiny flying little mechanical things of weird metal, whatever, are starting to take an interest in your direction.
Okay. Damn, all that from just some light cantrips. Okay, I'm gonna get away from the mechanical whirring mosquitoes and try to see if I can track Chandra or where she went at the very least.
So these little whirring things look like this picture I'm putting here. Tiny, delicate little things that look extremely fragile and smashable, and you have no idea why anyone would waste so much time like putting so much detail on something like this.
All right.
Okay.
Damn.
So, Chandra, give me a survival check with disadvantage.
Got you. Here you go.
What is this?
That's 11 with disadvantage.
Okay. Right. Well, you look around this maze of high towers and buildings and structures, and like the first thought that occurs to you is, well, the first impression is Chandra's unlikely to be a roof hopper.
Okay. What?
And also, considering it, she might probably blend into a crowd better than she would running across the top of the roofs and such. You're currently on a very high building that's at least 40 feet tall.
Yeah, because I'm like looking down, seeing like real deep, right? Like not real deep, but I mean like really far up, looking down, like vertigo kind of height, right?
Yes.
So, so she probably went down somewhere. All right, I'm gonna risk it as I walk away from the mosquitoes and try to make my way. Like I figure that she would probably not go on rooftops, right? So I try to make my way down, as I go down, I cast locate creature.
Okay.
Wait, let me click it. One sec. It's a new day, so I have new spells prepped. Hey.
Okay, locate creature. Oh, you have that prepared.
Yeah, it's a new day. I get to prepare new spells.
Okay. So locate creature. Let me roll something. As you use your magic again and feel the strange, odd disconnect and static around you, Well,
Mhm.
like it feels a bit more comfortable as you start lowering yourself to the ground. But it seems there's more of these tiny little worrying things that seem to start following you now. On the
Oh,
right side, let's see, 1,000 feet. Okay, you do. What are you choosing to locate?
um, like it's creature, right? So do I get to choose Chandra? Is that like a thing I can choose?
Describe or name. So you describe or name Chandra. Is it?
Yeah.
That is familiar to you.
Yep.
Okay,
And we've been traveling with her the entire time.
I would like to know how Brooks describes Chandra, just out of curiosity.
Okay. He would be like the goggles wearing, fire wielding, like very vibrant, like whatever color her, like whatever her hair color specifically is, because it's like very vibrant and noticeable. And then like that's how he would
Okay, fine.
that's how he would describe her, because it's just like she's been throwing fireballs and he's been on the receiving end of those fireballs.
Okay, good enough. Like, if you describe her based on her clothing, you would probably find like every single person in existence here, but you describe with a unique detail. So
There you go.
you do detect Chandra actually. Uh, she's okay. So you saw the first picture with the two ladies looking down.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that's your original vantage point.
Okay.
And Chandra seems to be in the fancy building, like there's one big main building with a weird satellite dish there and all the like domes.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to be in that building.
Satellite dish with the
I said there's one main building frame there.
yeah.
She seems to be in that building, whatever it is.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna make my way there. Like, away from the mosquitoes that are being attracted to me, and trying to find my way through.
Are you trying to ditch the mosquitoes, or are you just taking the fastest possible way?
I'll try to take the fastest possible way, I guess, because I don't want to, because there's a range to this spell, so I don't want to risk getting
The
up.
building is only about like 500 feet away.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna try to ditch the mosquitoes.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Spell check.
Stealth.
Stealth check. All right. 17.
70. Let me check the stats of these things. Well, less of them are following you now, but there's still one or two persistent ones.
All right, it's fine. Gonna make my way towards that building as best I can.
Okay. You make your way down across. Well, it's not. It takes a bit of time to get down from the 40-foot building, especially trying to evade the little things looking for you. And once when you're on the ground, like the noise just hits you from everywhere. It's in languages you can't quite understand that sound very local.
Mm-hmm.
So there are like people standing around big mechanical thingamajigs, like making all kinds of technical noises and hands waving and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people like parading around like small intricate things that look like little dogs and winds up, but like far more ornate. Also, you see some people actually walking those things as if they were actual animals. Everywhere around you, people are like colorful and well dressed and proper. The ground
Okay,
is expand. Like, okay, look at the second picture. Like, you see that the elephant thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like sites like those aren't uncommon, just moving around. Mechanical wonders or strange things.
Okay.
And you land on the ground, and I'll say Can you see that the blue stuff, the channels?
Okay.
You land near the channels,
All right. Cool.
and you start getting some notices from people around, like looking your direction, and well, most of them wear like not much, like they have a lot of flowing clothing, but most of it is light and airy, which is suitable for this place, which is very sunny and warm.
Okay.
Not hot in the way of Zendikar, but just warm, and so like they dress lightly.
Okay.
And you are a small little rocky thing, and people are starting to point fingers at you. What do you wish to do?
All right. I want to. I want to use the. I mean, because I'm tiny, right? Can I use the crowd to like hide? Is that like
The
possible?
crowd itself seems to be noticing you. You stand out a lot.
Okay, so it's like really hard to do like the whole not surf, but like
Everything here you notice is like cloth and flesh or metal and filigree. You're like a rock person, small rock person.
all right.
So take a look at that picture, on the number one picture, and tell me if you have an idea of how you might get through it. You see the amount of people there and all that. Tell me if you have an idea of how to get through that.
Okay. What kind of spells do I have to work with? Let me look through my list. Damn. Why don't druids have invisibility? All right. I am going to wild shape into a mosquito, I guess. Because I've seen this mechanical mosquito. Can I try to transform into that mechanical mosquito if it's a creature?
No, it has to be a beast.
Okay, all right, cool.
If you're gonna try and change into like a mosquito, no, like you, no, I don't even know what beast is the equivalent of this weird thing.
All right, but yeah, I'm gonna try to change into like a beast equivalent of this mosquito, like let's say a dragonfly. A dragonfly is like a beast, right? Is that a bug? A beast? I don't know.
I don't know if dragonflies survive. Oh wait, yeah, fire-breathing dragonflies might survive in a cow.
All right, so I change into that, and I like fly towards the building.
The crowd goes, oh, thing. You don't understand what they're doing, but it seems that there's some alarm from them now.
Mhm.
Give me another stealth check.
Another stealth check. All right, cool. Stealth. Oh wait, no, sorry, wrong one. That's the stealth check.
Okay. This time you see like people pointing, and like their fingers continue to follow you with their gazes as you like flitter as this new flying thing. And more worrying things are on top of you now, and some are even close enough that like a small little compartment opens from some of them,
Okay.
and then like a small little torchlights are being shined at you.
From these mosquito contraption things, or from like people.
From the mosquito contraptions, the people are a bit like
Okay.
like people have some distance, and their clothing isn't very conducive to fast running, but they are noticing and pointing and all that. And then you hear like a whistle being blown somewhere. What do you do?
I mean, I'm making my way towards the place, right? Can I try to like outspeed them or something? Do they seem like they've been pretty fast because they've been tracking me, right?
They were tracking you easily on foot. Now you've taken wing, you might have a chance.
All right, so I'm gonna try.
Okay, what's the let's dragonfly? Okay, you know what? Give me an athletics check.
Got it.
Just roll d20. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think dragonflies are very much. Wait.
But the drone things aren't very strong either, so it becomes like
R1d20. That's that's a crit. It's a nat
okay.
20.
In a sudden burst of speed,
Ooh, whoosh.
and you leave the whistling behind you as you zip towards this strange building, this fancy building in front of you. It seems to be made more of metal and brick,
Okay.
and well, there's strange writing over it that you don't understand because it's all in Sanskrit and such. The first impression upon entering is that you're in some kind of an exhibition hall.
Okay.
There are like you understand what pedestals are. Goblins know that people put important things on these.
Yep.
But this entire place just filled with pedestals, and there's like red ribbons and cordons around them, and all kinds of like impressive looking mechanical things on them. And important people are like have monocles on, or like weird bits of glass, and are staring all the bits and pieces while slightly
On the fancy looking pedestals.
yes.
Ooh. They're all staring at them.
Yeah, and other people seem to be like following them with clipboards and taking notes, and other even less important people in fancy clothes are standing near the exhibits and like trying to look like comfortable and pleased, and are talking in their language to them.
Okay.
Is Brooks taking any interest in this or just moving on?
I'm gonna follow my locate creature and figure out where's Fireball Lady.
Okay. So to give you an idea of what some of those things might look like, some of the exhibits might look like this. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, this is the actual Inventors Fair. So you head so you head further in where like where it seems to be so. And the first thing you notice as you start closing in on the location is that there's a hallway like the last picture where you see more pedestals and people milling about. But there also seems to be what seems like a whole bunch of people in blue and white uniforms, like crowding around and having some kind of urgent discussion. And it seems that there's a hallway ahead has been like closed off, or like the door is blocked or somewhat, and like they seem to be trying to open it, but at the moment are showing some hesitation about destroying the door.
Okay, wait. I'm having a tough time understanding that.
Okay.
They look like they want to destroy the door, but
As in like they're knocking on it, pounding on it and things, and like some of the crowds are looking at them, but
okay, but they're not getting any success.
yes.
Okay.
And
cool.
some of them, like you do see one of them has like what seems like a portable RAM, but like the others like are like, you know, they don't seem keen about using it right now.
I see. All right. Is like, do I feel Chandra from across that room where they're trying to like pound
Yeah,
the door?
it seems like she's not immediately across it, but like past that point.
Okay, can I is it entirely possible that I can what's it called? Find a way through with what's it called? Man, language. Is it possible that I can find a way through like a tiny hole? That's what I'm looking for, like a keyhole of some kind, you know, like these kinds of
Give me
things.
an investigation check with this pretty door.
All right, cool. Investigation check. Investigation. It's a 6. It's a really low number,
Okay.
even by.
It's pretty dull, and you try and find a few places. It doesn't seem to make much. Well, like again, it's too ornamented, filigreed, but seems that an actual hornet has made a nest.
What?
It's made a. You know what a hornet's nest is?
Yeah.
Actual nest in like it's some degree, some manner of natural imperfection has managed to insert itself into the artifice work.
Okay. So that, like, unless I wanna get like horneted, that's probably a no-go, right? Or
Well,
do they not care about dragonflies?
a dragonfly currently bigger than a hornet.
All right, okay, then I'll slowly make my way through. Is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Like slowly.
Make me an attack roll, and I'll make an opposed one.
Okay. Damn it. I don't know what's the dragon's modifier, so I'm just gonna roll a d20. Oh wow! Apparently, I can't
You-
roll lower than a 20.
So, like, the hornet and you attack you, and you counter attack at the same time. You kill the hornet, which is just as well because if it stung you, it might not be very good for your current form.
Yeah.
You kill the hornet and like make your way through this like, little hole of the
Okay.
nest. And as soon as you're through this door, like the atmosphere itself seems to change.
Okay.
Outside, everything here is bright and golden and colorful and pretty.
Okay.
Like here, things are more subdued. There are curtains, like curtains drawn down, and it's darker.
Let's see. Can I? Do dragonflies have dark vision?
Okay, music change.
Because it's like the whole idea of the room is like a somber emo kid's room, right? So it's like very dark and like.
It feels more like it feels a bit more intimidating actually. Like once you're past the golden part into restricted areas, it's less of gold here and more of like a shiny silvery metal or even darker metals.
Mhm.
And like there's like curtains there's like you see other pedestals here on the side, but there's no one, and like
Mhm.
curtains and drapes and tarps are pulled over them. Like
Okay.
there's a certain hushed secrecy area feel about this.
Okay.
And moving onwards, you
Right.
see like the way the thing unfolds. Like there's weird glass around, strangely shaped glass constructs, and the metal that hisses and steams, not unlike a volcanic fumarole.
Okay.
And Berks, you want to describe how Berks is feeling right now? You've come out from Akom and you're in this kind of a place.
He's had some rest, so
As in, how is Berks feeling about this place?
he feels a little out of place for sure. Because it's like his general feeling is just like, oh, it's very pretty and all these things, but like he definitely feels like he's a little out of his comfort zone. Like he feels like disconnected with like nature, and it's like a fish out of water kind of feeling, like rusa di campo, or however that goes. Yeah, that's how he feels.
Okay. You continue to flitter through these darkened areas, and You notice that there are strange two mechanical things. Let's see. Where is it?
Strange two mechanical things. What? Sorry, you cut off for me.
I'm trying to find a way to describe it.
Okay.
Okay, they are there are constructs moving around in this place on the floor itself, like but slow and purposeful, as if like patrolling the area. They don't seem to take much notice of you, but I like the things outside there, which are more pretty. These ones are more like purposeful and round. I'll just put a picture in Discord.
Okay.
Like moving around like the ground, whirring, and they have like perfect little routines and rotations. And you catch an occasional glimpse of
So these are like quadrupeds of some kind. They look like they're four-legged things.
yes.
Okay.
But sometimes like occasionally they like close their shell around themselves and roll around,
Mm-hmm.
achieving greater speed.
All right.
And then moving further in still, you pass through a curtain and you're hit by a whole wave of steam. Give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage because you still have fire resistance.
Cool. 17.
And it seems, and you enter a strange location where some massive thing is being worked on by quite a lot of individuals actually. Where did the picture go? It's made of steam and whatever it is, it's big. Like the picture I put, it's huge. It's
Okay.
metallic. Like it's only half complete at the moment because like only the upper half of it seems to be sticking out from like what seems to be a well, as a goblin, you have been in mines before, and this looks like half of it is sticking out of some kind of a mine shaft, and there's a whole bunch of like people crowded around it, working at it, like forging and refining metals, even some stone.
Mm-hmm.
And there you catch a. Finally, you locate Chandra, and she seems to be with another. There's a whole bunch of like people similarly dressed here, workers' outfits, aprons, goggles, and you almost don't notice Chandra at first, but she seems to be speaking with a woman of some kind in very hushed tones,
Mm-hmm.
as she seems to be working over a piece of metal. And they're speaking in a language you don't quite understand at the moment.
Okay.
What do you wish to do?
All right. I wanna try to see or I just want to listen in for a while to see like what they're talking about first. That's kind of like the first thing I want to do.
Right, and this is the picture of the other woman she's talking to.
Ooh, not hair color normal. Interesting.
Like I said, they're both like leaning over a table, seeming to work on something, but you can give me an insight check.
Okay. God damn it! Why aren't you coming out? Okay, 13.
13. Okay. Uh, that this is strange because from what you know of Chandra, like she's always been like quite when she reacts or emotes, like she's not subtle about it. She's typically very expressive, and yet the way she seems to be talking with this woman and gesturing and motioning, everything seems like subdued and quiet. And you catch her, and occasionally the woman, the woman with her, occasionally looks up from the work to like glance over to the side, where you notice some kind of a strange figure, like almost blending
What?
into the background. Like there seems to be like a few of these Greek men constructs. You're not quite sure what they are, or like interspaced around the room at regular intervals.
Okay.
The nearest one is about 50 feet away from them. And two of them seem to look, the woman seems to glance at the nearest one from time to time.
Okay.
Does Burks have an idea of what's going on here?
No. Maybe some kind of judgment ritual kind of a thing. I have no
Okay,
idea.
do you as the
I'm
player have an
so.
idea of what's going on?
I mean, I have a couple of guesses, but I don't think any of them are right. I think they're in the audience of someone that's like either holding them hostage or someone very powerful. Because if it was someone that like mattered and or had feelings for them, then he would be down there with them, right? Because right now he's above them, watching over them.
Okay. Anyone have any suggestions for what Burks might do?
They are getting observed, so I'm not sure. It's probably a very dangerous situation.
I'm like so confused.
They are getting observed by these people, and of course, you can't just barge in. So
They also might be very powerful. Even Chandra is hiding, so
yeah.
Can you
think
repeat
about
to
that.
me the description of Chandra and the lady
Okay.
and
So
the
let me describe
feeling
this as
of
a circular room. There's like steam and smoke everywhere as people seem hard at work.
Okay.
And around this massive little half-finished construct thing that's like rising out from like a mine shaft.
Uh-huh.
And then this new woman and Chandra are like standing over a table where like there's some blueprints and there's some things being worked at, like quite a similar workbench to many of things around.
Mm-hmm.
And Chandra seems to be quite subdued in what she's talking. She's acting almost normally for once.
Okay.
And then there are interspaced around the room are these like human construct people like at regular intervals to like get a good vantage point.
Can I get like an insight check on? I mean, not can I get an insight check? Can I insight Chandra to see if she's like, I'm looking for signs of like any signs of like nervousness or like looking like where she's observing more than she needs to, or like signs of like pressure or like general jitteriness, things like that. Can I like, or do I see like too many Chandras to be able to insight check?
Give me an insight check then. Fine.
All right, cool.
The DC will be lower because it's more specific. Okay. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Like you notice about her, like her gestures and all that seem quite normal on the table, where like she seems to be gesturing to the blueprints and motioning to the woman and talking.
Okay.
But like you can see her other hand that's like under the table and behind her back seems the hand keeps like closing the hand keeps closing to a fist, clenching and unclenching.
Okay.
She's definitely very nervous about her situation, but she's trying to act normal here.
Okay. Cool. Can I see what the blueprints are about?
They mean gibberish to you as a goblin, but like
Okay.
yeah, they well, it looks parts of it seem similar to the big thing coming up, but that's about all you can get.
All right. Okay. Cool. Hmm.
Can
Yeah.
I have a wild guess that they are slaves? Can I have a wild guess that they are slaves?
It's a good guess.
I'm gonna perch somewhere really nearby and
Mhm.
just observe Chandra for a little while. And you can like simulate what she does or the things that happens until something like significant happens, and then you can tell me because I'm just gonna perch. Because wild shape lasts for like what 8 hours or something. Something
No,
ridiculous.
half the druid level.
Okay, yeah. So it's like
How long
4.5 hours.
for?
Yeah, because I'm level 9 now, so it's 4.5 hours, or round down to 4, so like 4 hours.
Okay, how long would you like to observe for?
Um, until I have like, what am I trying to say? Until I have like about an hour left, and then if nothing significant happens, I'll probably make a move, or like maybe half an hour left.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
probably more half an hour left because I wanna observe and see if anything interesting happens
okay,
before I make a move.
so like, you observe for a while. You notice that those figures, the
Mhm.
strange figures, just seem to stand around, watch the other people working.
Okay.
At no point do they seem to move from their positions.
Okay.
And now, getting a better look of Chandra and the woman, you start to get a better idea of things. It's like uh, you notice that Chandra continues her motion with the hand and such over it,
Mhm.
and occasionally, occasionally, she brings up her other hand to write on a piece of paper, and the piece of paper is passed back and forth.
Mhm.
You get the impression that whatever she's saying is probably not the same as what she's writing on the paper, because sometimes she has to look down and check.
Okay.
And the woman does the same thing, also responding back in kind and occasionally writing something back and forth.
Okay.
Uh, like I'll say this is about the first hour or so,
Okay.
and that's when you notice like the nearest figure about 50 feet away is starting to turn its head to look at them, as if sensing something amiss. And you realize that these two have not made much progress or change from what they're doing compared to like the other workers or whoever around who has been like moving things, like comparing notes on blueprints, then moving around to talk to other people. Like these two have just been talking here for a lot.
Okay.
So so one of these figures is starting to take notice. What you wish to do?
Okay. I wish to. All right. So they're definitely being held here against their will, for sure. I believe. So how am I gonna get them out?
As in, first things first is like the nearest one is starting to turn, because like there's a certain rhythm and pattern to the other people moving, like productivity. Even a goblin knows what productivity is.
Yep.
And these two don't seem to be meeting a certain quota at the moment based on what they're doing.
And I don't think they're held here against their will. They just didn't manage to convey everything they need within a certain frame of time.
Okay. So maybe I can buy them a bit more time. The observer weird mechanism thing, he's starting to take notice. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Can I go bug him? Get it? Because I'm a bug. Ca- yeah, can I go bug him and like?
How would you like to bug him?
I'd like to go around his eyes and get his attention, then fly as high up as I can, like to kind of avoid any swatting, because I don't want to accidentally turn into a goblin as I'm disturbing him.
Okay.
I would like fly up to his eyes and like bzz, 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 then go all the way up so he doesn't just swat me out of the sky.
Give me an acrobatics check.
Gotcha. 14.
You fly up to this guard sentry, whatever humanoid is, and okay, let me just check something quickly. I need to check to see if this race has certain characteristics. Okay, even the wiki is a bit strange about. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Apparently in MTG, these guys are considered vampires.
Nani?
They're what? Vampires? Say
There's
it
a
again.
weird vampires, man.
As in their creature type is vampire.
Oh, interesting.
But are there like the vampire that still affected by holy and light and whatnot?
No, these are from a different plane. So like oh, okay, I get it. So like these, yeah, there's a whole story attached, but like Brooks doesn't know this at the moment. I think we'll talk about it later. So you buzz around it, and the first thing you notice that it doesn't seem to quite doesn't seem to be breathing in the typical way of that you understand of a living being. In fact, like it doesn't seem to notice you're buzzing until you get particularly persistent, and then the one hand slowly reaches up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fly up there, and then the hand like goes back down, and like it seems to be studying you now.
All right, cool. So I'll as it's studying me, I'm gonna just like keep its attention while keeping my attention on like Chandra and the lady and seeing how they've progressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Unless he does like something hostile or tries to get closer to me, then of course I'm gonna be like, All
right. So you notice the distraction and the slight movement from the guard like causes Chandra and the woman to glance back and notice him noticing as well, and then they start to separate, do other things, and I'll say this happens over the course of like another half an hour as they separate and do other things, but occasionally meet back again as if to confer. And you start to notice quite a lot of the other workers around here start to look at their wrists or some kind of a strange clockwork device tied around their wrists. In Zendikar, nobody knows what a watch or clock is, right? But like you sense some kind of anticipation as they look towards the entrance or the exit.
Okay.
And I guess you recognize this as a goblin, as like like goblin miners always look forward to lunch breaks.
Okay.
There might be a break of some kind coming up.
All right.
And at this point, you notice the guard whose attention you have is starting to point at you, and like the two nearest guards are also starting to look in your direction. What do you do?
Oh god. I'm going to try to hide? Question mark.
Where would you like to hide?
It's like a circular place, right? Can I like?
Yeah, it's a circular place with not much place for hiding except
not
like the
much-
big machine thing in the middle or
Okay, so there's no like random debris and random crates, these
No.
kinds of things,
so
right?
again, like this entire place like has like a there's construction material, but it's not like the biggest dominating thing is still that thing in the middle casting a shadow over everyone.
Okay, can I try to hide in the?
Material, but like workers keep going to those.
Can I try to hide in like the giant thing shadow?
Sure, give me a
All right. Cool. That should work, right? I hope that works, because I'm like a tiny bug. Hey.
You fly over there, and the good thing is like the workers don't seem to notice you either, or like they might, and then the guards seem to return to their original to their original postures,
Mm-hmm.
and a bell is rung after like another half an hour, and you see all the workers simultaneously like put down whatever they have, like fold it up neatly, roll it up, put like their little pens and flasks over it, and start to line up. And they start to line up in an orderly row. The woman falls in behind a man and in front of another man, and you notice Chandra awkwardly try to insert herself into the line, and some of the workers like looking at her as if like finding something strange. And one of the figures that was watching before steps out in front of the line and starts reading off from a clipboard and a name list of some sort.
Okay, so they're in a line, and it looks like they're going for this lunch break that I assumed that they were going for, quote unquote lunch break.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Lady with a clipboard.
Give me another insight check.
I got it.
Okay. Like from what you can tell of the workers regarding Chandra, like one of them was pointing in front of him, and yet another worker is like pointing like further behind, as if there's some like confusion about where Chandra should be standing.
Okay. So essentially she's not standing in the right spot.
Hmm.
Okay. Like, interesting.
Like she herself seems to be a bit confused as to where to stand, because like
Okay.
she might not be able to remember.
Okay.
And like, okay, like the first name is read off like some weird sounding name, and the first person in the line departs.
Okay.
And they read the next person's name and so on. The woman that Chandra was speaking to keeps looking towards her.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 12 more names before it reaches Chandra. What do you wish to do?
Okay. I will check my spell list. One sec. Okay. Was it? Can I identify the closest exit?
Well, the main exit seems to be the one through which people come and go. You can also make out not a ground level, but slightly elevated. There seems to be some kind of a ventilation route of two for like the machine, like a kind of a ventilation route to let like air and light in and fumes out.
Okay.
But
What
those
about
are not on ground level.
what about human exits?
As in, they're large enough for a human to get through.
Okay, so but they're not at ground level. So nothing on the ground?
On ground level, let me think. Entrance exit. Well, there's another exit on ground level, but at the other is the opposite end of the hall from which the people are going out.
Okay. As the names get closer, I kind of go into the crowd.
Mhm.
I'm going to undragonfly and cast fog cloud. But I'm gonna be next to next to Chandra and Co when I do it. Chandra in person when I do it.
Okay. You pop into a weird stone thing. People catch a glimpse of you. Then fog comes out everywhere,
Okay.
and then there's sounds of panic and everything.
Yeah, I kind of hold on to Chandra. I hope she still remembers or recognizes me.
Okay. I'll say you have a very limited time between things can go, but Chandra splutters. Perks.
Yeah. And then I'm like, there's an exit in the above level. We gotta go. Like, let's go.
And the woman somewhere in the cloud says something, and like she clenches her fist and starts running towards the other exit. And the fog cloud has things in confusion as like people start getting out of line to try and get out of the cloud.
Okay.
And them getting out of line means that the other strange construct people thing like start stepping up and like start manhandling them to get them back into the lines and formations. You you and Chandra run out through the other exit with the cover of the fog cloud, but as soon as you pass through the archway, you start hearing you hear a mechanical noise, and then lights start glowing around.
Okay. Wait, is it just me and Chandra, or what about the lady Chandra was talking to?
It seems the lady is not following for some reason.
Okay. What? Can I like as me and Chandra are running? I'm like, what about your friend? Isn't she going to come?
She can't, not without compromise. Oh no, the alarm triggered. We need to get out of this building quickly. What's the fastest way you can get us out?
I could carry you out, but I'm big. I can turn into a bird. A giant eagle would be able to fit through that duct, right, in the upper level.
That one doesn't go to the sky though. Chandra's asking if you can saying this building, it blocks teleportation. You're getting in and out on foot or whatever.
Do you know the layout? Can you tell me a wall that leads to the outside?
Only the way I came in, not the way out.
All right, then we're going to have to take a couple of chances.
Okay. Do you have any ways of getting out of the building quickly? Because now this will be timed.
Okay, but I will transform into a giant caw and pick her up. But like before I do that, I'm gonna look at Chandra and I'm gonna ask her like, are you sure you don't want to bring this lady with you?
I can't. She told me if she leaves, they'll know immediately what she's up to and everything.
Okay. Then I will. I don't want to caw yet. Damn it.
You can turn back to you can cast something else, then turn into your eagle and still keep concentration. But you should probably act quickly.
Okay, I'm gonna cast. As we're running, I'm gonna cast. As we're running, I'm gonna cast Long Strider on myself so that I have Chandra's movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to what's it called?
Okay. You cast Long Strider on yourself. The spell takes effect, but you feel like severe resistance from the area around you.
Okay.
And like this time, there are like visible sparks from your hands as you do this.
Okay.
And like the lights start turning a different color as well.
All right. Cool. So I'm gonna take away that spell slot and assume I don't have Long Strider, right?
You used your Long Strider successfully, but like it the 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 very area in here seems to be quite like anti-natural.
Okay. All right. Things are just weird here. All right. I look at Chandra. Okay, I got a really good perspective view, like a really good perspective view of the building as like a fly flying inside and looking at it from the outside with that vertigo kind of view, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, would I be able to know which wall would be like an outside wall? Would I be able to know that, or would that be like out of my realm of imagination?
Mm,
Like as a guide, I'm just honestly asking because I don't know. Like that's up to you to decide.
okay.
Yeah.
You were
Because
studying.
that will drastically change my plan.
Give me a wisdom check to see how much you remember.
A wisdom check. I got you. Wait 1 second. Wisdom. Ooh.
Oh, whoa. Okay. You think back and it clicks in your head that that room in which that gigantic thing was, and everyone's building around it. It has to be the big dome itself.
Okay.
So you entered through the main entrance. If you check the building picture, you went to the big
Yep.
dome.
Yep. Okay.
So up ahead, there should be some kind of a tall minaret thing that leads up to the weird like crescent shaped, I don't question disc thing on top. It should be coming up soon.
Okay.
So
Uh,
there is some kind of a skylight, but like it goes up to the crescent shaped thing.
Okay. So what about like would I know like which walls?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wall to the left, it looks quite sturdy, but like okay, if you take a left turn and go along, like you should hit an external wall soon.
Okay. All right. Cool. I with my long strider now, I take Chandra and I'm like, all right, whatever you're planning, we just got to get out of here. Follow me, and then I lead her along that left path that I wanted to go. Okay, and then as I feel like all right, I'm pretty sure this leads to the outside. I cast Stone Chip and I'll make an opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
The stone, the lovely stone gives way with some kind of white sandstone, like falls parts beneath your grasp. Again with that sizzling resistance of magic, and now the alarms go from like they were yellow before, then they turn orange, and now they are red, and you can hear noises all around. But also the noises of the outside filter in as like the heat of and you realize like how much cooler it was inside there. And like you catch like a glimpse of people outside again, striding, look around, looking slight confusion at you as you emerge, and like metal plating is falling away from the wall that just suddenly isn't quite there.
Mm-hmm.
Chandra grabs you and clings onto you, says, "All right, we're gonna do this again. Are you all right?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure I need you to leave.
People are pointing and staring, but not at you, Burks. They're pointing at Chandra. And they're screaming something incomprehensible. And that's when she claps her hands together, holding you tight, and plane shifts.
Okay.
And you return back to Zendikar, but we'll cover that next session.
Yay! Kadesh sounds like a place that is not fun for druids.
No, or magic. Full
Yes.
stop.
My God.
Like if you have magic, you GTFO.
You go
you
in
know?
jail.
You go to jail. You go to magic jail to make all
Yeah.
the things. It's freaking 1984, man.
It's like you become the slave for the government.
Oh my god. No wonder she hates the place.
So I think we'll end the session here. So thank you all for watching and listening.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Thanks for the sesh,
We
Mike.
will
As
see you.
always, great sesh. Wow.
We will see you next week with more
See
stuff.
ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.